want you to follow me for a moment. I'm in the crib crying for my mother, but she cannot get to me because my father has handcuffed her to a door after raping her in the butt. I only actually have one memory of my father, and that is being in his care, eating a bowl of cereal that he gave me, and watching the water bugs swim around in the milk at the bottom of the bowl. My father killed himself from a heroin overdose. I guess I wasn't worth him staying around. I never had a chance to be a daddy's little girl. Growing up in a 2-bedroom home with 14 people in one bathroom, there were many lessons to be learned as a kid. Like when a certain family member signaled for me to join him in the bathroom, I knew it was time to suck his wee-wee. At least that's what I called it. And over time, and with much practice, I learned how to do it where the white stuff only goes in my mouth and not all over my face. But still, I hate it, and I hate the taste. I also learned how to keep my mouth shut. Like the time I was held down by family members, being whipped with an extension cord, and when they got tired, they held my arms down and someone punched me dead in the face and knocked me out cold. The next morning I woke up and my black eye was so bad it looked purple. All because I said something I shouldn't have said. When the signs of physical abuse were present, I couldn't go to school because I didn't want the school to file a police report. And with all these wonderful activities going on, education wasn't a priority. No one asked me about my homework. So every year, I would fail. And I would call my friends, and we would brag about it and talk about it. I would get on the phone, and I'd say, "Girl, did you fail?" She'd be like, "Yeah, I failed." "Did you fail?" "Yeah, girl, call so-and-so and ask her, did she fail?" "Did you fail?" "We all failed. It's going to be smoking next year." My friends, we sat around and we talked about dropping out of high school when we turned 16 and having a bunch of babies. And we would take our babies around the neighborhood and everyone would be so much in awe of our kids. And they would be so cute. And they would be fine. But no one would dress their kid better than mine. And for fun at my house, my family members at night, we would get around the kitchen and we would just be very quiet in the evening, and we would put cheese on top of a mouse trap. And we would wait until the mice would tiptoe out to get the food. And then we would start shooting them with the BB gun. One night we caught 12. That was our best night. And we would look at the mouse and say, "Yeah, we got you, we got you, we got you, we got you." And we would slap hands, and we would high five, and we would be so happy. That was a great night for me. But don't get it twisted. I'm an angry kid. In school, the kids hate me because they're scared of me, because I'm a bully. And I take lunch money from the black girls that I consider to be white because they had parents and they did their homework. And then I would turn around and make those same girls watch me eat my lunch bought with their money. But I didn't stop there. I was a teacher's nightmare. Teachers hated to see me coming. And one day in middle school, Miss LaBou was walking around and calling on people to read out loud. And my heart was beating so fast, I thought I was going to die because I did not want her to call on me. As she started to walk towards me, she reached over and she said, "Veronica," and I yelled loudly in her face, "Your breath stinks!" And all the kids started to laugh. And I got kicked out of class. And I was so relieved. When I got to the principal's office, the principal asked me, "Why did you do that?" And I said, "I can't help it if she can't afford Listerine. If I could get her some, I would, but I can't." But the truth was, I was hiding a secret. I couldn't read. Imagine looking in a book full of words that you can't pronounce and you don't know what they mean. That was me. How I got to high school, I'll never know. But here we go. Going to high school, this is what I knew about myself. My mother was too young to raise me. My father killed himself. I was molested by several men over the course of my childhood. I was a bully. I couldn't read. And to top it all off, I was stupid. True qualities for success, right? So one day in high school, I just got tired. And I said to myself, "Why are you here? What are you doing all this for? What's the point?" And I wanted out. So I swallowed a bottle of pills. And I was going to meet my dad and tell him how mad I was that he OD'd. After I took the pills, I started to hear a loud ringing in my ear that I just couldn't turn off. And I thought, this is my moment. This is what's going to happen. I'm out of here. But instead, I ended up in a hospital with a rude doctor shoving a tube up my nose that really hurt. And as the blood poured, I heard the doctor say, "This is what you get for taking all those pills." Shortly after, I was handcuffed by police and put in the back seat of a police car, headed for the mental institution. The next day, I woke up with an old white naked man standing in front of me asking me my name. I didn't respond, so he kept walking. He was a patient. I was institutionalized for 2 days, and I could not return to school until things simmered down. The people in my life, they thought I just wanted attention. Some people thought I was shocked. Others thought I was just stupid. So I added that feedback to the negative narrative I already had about myself. That was yesterday. Today, this moment, right now, I stand before you as a doctoral candidate. Who will be graduating May 2017. In May, I will be Dr. V. So, what happened? A simple game of volleyball and a nice meal at a restaurant. Just when I was waiting to turn 16 to drop out of high school, I was walking by the gym, and the track star Connie Ellerby, who also plays volleyball, asked me if I wanted to play. Surely she didn't know who I was, because I was the bad kid that was in all general classes that hung around the group that would be a failed statistic. But still, I said, sure, yeah. So we start to bump the volleyball, and we would laugh when we missed. She was out of my league, and I knew it. But still, I was having fun, and I didn't want it to end. Shortly, we were joined by the rest of the volleyball team. And that day, I became a volleyball player for my high school. So after practice, I noticed something different. Something changed. Something was different in me that I did not understand. That day, that moment, that opportunity to see and to do something different changed my life forever. As I started to hang around the team, I got invited to dinner by one of my white teammates to go with her and her family. Being in a restaurant, sitting at a dinner table, I'm sorry, with a bunch of white folks was very different for me. It was so different for me. So I looked around and I saw everyone eating and having fun, and it kind of made me sad, and I felt out of place. I didn't want the waiter or anyone, for that matter, to ask me anything. So instead, I just watched, because I didn't know how to act in that environment. And so I watched them put the napkin over their lap, and I did the same. I watched them put the salad on their plate. You know, the salad's tricky. You got to know what you're doing. And I did the same. I watched them cut the steak, and it just didn't happen for me. My teammate was talking to her parents about taking the SAT and going to college. I didn't want her parents to ask me anything about going to college. But the fact that I was in that situation in that moment, the idea of me, Veronica, going to college now became a thought. I really want you to get that, because it was just the conversation that I was exposed to that made me start thinking about going to college. One day, the high school volleyball captain, Carla Dorsey, asked me to come hang out at her house. She was one of the smartest high school kids, and so I was like, really? Okay. I went to her house, and her mother started to ask me all these questions. What school do you want to go to? What does your report card look like? Have you taken the SAT? What do you want to do with your life? And I was like, look, lady, I don't know any of this stuff. I haven't thought about any of this stuff. And plus, I didn't think I could get into college. So when I said that, she jumped up and she started going through her books. And she pulled out I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings by Dr. Maya Angelou. And she said, every day after practice, I need you to read this book until you finish. The problem was I couldn't understand the big words. So I started to just skip through the book. I think I skipped through the whole book. Every other word I didn't understand. And when she started to realize that I really wasn't getting it, she asked me to look the words up in the dictionary. Can't assume everyone knows how to use the dictionary. So as I started to look up the words in the dictionary, I started to make a connection. And I remember thinking, this Dr. Maya Angelou understands me. I never thought a book could make me cry. It's just the book. The journey to finish that book was long, it was hard, and it seemed like it took a lifetime. But when that journey ended, I completed my first book in the 10th grade and have never stopped reading after that. I want to be crystal clear, missing the first 9 to 10 years of school set me back big time. I am still playing catch up and still practically looking up every other word. But it was finishing that first book that inspired me to finish high school. I managed to graduate from high school with a 2.0 GPA, and I scored the lowest score that you can get on the SAT. I think you get points just for signing your name. Just for signing your name. But the point is, I did take the SAT, and I did finish high school. And it took great initiative for me to get educated and take responsibility for myself. But no one else could do it. The 3 things that changed the trajectory of my life was, someone asked me if I wanted to play. Someone took me to a restaurant, saw a different atmosphere. Someone gave me a book. I was shown compassion. Compassion is seeing the suffering of others and doing everything you possibly can to alleviate that suffering. In fact, when you show compassion, oxytocin is released in the body, and that strengthens your heart and reduces stress. It was the combination of opportunity and compassion that changed my life. Those people that showed me that compassion and that gave me those opportunities, they will never know how their simple acts changed the way I saw myself. And providing those same opportunities and that same compassion to kids just like me became my life's work and led me to create Urban Fitness 911. The Urban Fitness 911 kids, they have an opportunity to see new things, to experience new things, to expand their reality, and to transform their lives. They get tutored, they get VIP experiences, they work out, and they travel to a private school to learn to work with kids with different economic backgrounds. That component of Urban Fitness 911 is called Common Ground. The kids and Common Ground, I have watched both learn from each other and get a greater understanding of each other. The private school kids and the Urban Fitness 911 kids, they learn about each other's differences and learn to recognize and appreciate their differences. It is my hope that the Urban Fitness 911 kids get to that place, that moment, where they also say something is different, something has changed. Just like it happened for me the first day of volleyball practice.
You know, nothing is promised us.
Now, I'm not with these kids 24 hours a day, but I do provide one-act opportunities for them to see the possibility of their future and to take responsibility for their own lives. So no matter what the condition, one question, one dinner, one book, one opportunity, one act is all it takes to transform a futureless, hopeless kid into a potential realized. Now, I'm not asking you to create one-act opportunities for these kids, but don't you want to? You don't have to be responsible for what happens after that one act. No one is asking you to create a curriculum and follow these kids for 5 years afterwards. Just take a kid on a hike. Take a kid to a movie. Take a kid to a dinner. Plant the seed. I guarantee you the seed will grow. I want to leave you with one thing. One act does matter. I am living proof. I told you in May I will be Dr. V. And after all this hard work, you're going to need to call me that.
You're just a means to the end. You're so misunderstood because you're kind, they think you're weak. Try it again, I wish they would. They're gonna have to come through me because I believe when you look deep inside and don't like what you see.
Opportunity showed me the map. They need a roadmap. They don't have a roadmap. As Michelle Obama would say, when the public education system goes low, we go high with opportunity. And let's let them decide. They can decide at that point. Give a kid a chance. Thank you.